Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new of LayerX Talks. Today we have a special session arranged by Hill, our head of development. Hi, Henry. How are you doing? And how did you start the 2024?
Hey everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I think it's a great opportunity to showcase what we have been doing alongside StarkWare and all of the sponsors of this hackathon. And I'm doing great. So I hope that everyone enjoys the show.
Amazing, amazing. Well, as you say, during this Twitter space, we will introduce and discuss about the Starknet Winter Hackathon. So let's talk about the challenge, which is a platform, and it's an open invitation to developers and innovators to show off their skills by building projects on the Starknet ecosystem and also with Starknet products. There are over than $30K in prizes, and hackers of all levels are invited to join and make an impact on the Starknet stack. But well, who better than me to talk about the hackathon than Louis Guthmann, the ecosystem lead of StarkWare? Are you there, Luis? How are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm looking forward to chat.
Great, great. I would like to ask you first to introduce yourself and your role on Starknet and StarkWare, and after that we can start with the questions.
Sure. Thank you very much. So let me introduce myself. So I'm Louis Guthmann. I was the ecosystem lead at Starkware until last week, and now I'm head of product market strategy. And I've been in crypto for 8 years, been at Starkware for almost 5 years now. And for the last 2 years and a half, I've been basically working towards making the ecosystem and the builders building on Starknet grow, be successful, and find whatever they are looking for that will make them successful. And so, the purpose of the hackathon we are co-organizing with you guys is to find the new talent that would create the next generation of app that will change the way we use crypto and ideally find new use cases and new usage for people to play, to use, to benefit from the infrastructure that we are all building.
And what do you see? Which opportunity you see there?
Sorry, I didn't hear. Can you repeat? I think you talked and I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, yes, of course. I was asking what inspired you to create the challenge, the hackathon, and what do you see on hackathons? What opportunity you see
Sure.
there?
Like the hackathon have been crypto one of the bread and butter of innovation. Just to give you a few perspective, Chainlink I think was created as a hackathon. Uniswap was definitely created as a hackathon project, and many more. Break on Starknet started as a hackathon project, and many more started this way. The whole purpose of hackathon is forcing yourself as a creator, as a dev, as a builder, to finally find the energy to go the extra mile in your ideas in your creation. Like you're thinking about something, you're like, okay, I should be doing it, but like giving yourself the push to actually make it happen. And so, what was the reasoning is because as we are heading towards East Denver, happening end of February, we wanted to spot and talk to the new upcoming dev that wants to try the new thing, so we can meet them in Denver. So the first one. Also, we had a lot of very successful experience with various hackathons, including TAIKAI. We did one in December, and the end goal is to see what kind of new application can people can build different on Starknet, and there are many. You have abstraction, you have zero knowledge proof, you have verifiability of proofs, you have all new type of DeFi, an all new type of game, Dojo, infrastructure for Herodotus, Pragma. You have the choice to look at this, what we need to build as an ecosystem, as a industry, for us to bridge the gap and make better infrastructure and better tool for people to use worldwide.
All right. What you are saying linked me to the next question that I have is, are you looking for a particular use case during this hackathon to address something in
So, that's a very good one. So the short answer is yes and no. I mean, if I was, if I was an entrepreneur, I would be an entrepreneur. I want to see what the the guy out there, the people out there, the creator of tomorrow have in mind. Because if I knew we were building, they wouldn't be creative. So
Hmm.
the short answer is no. Now, what do I know there are opportunities, at least on Starknet and elsewhere, is new type of DeFi, new type of tokenization, um, and new type of project leveraging on-chain gaming and financialization, for instance. That's a cool thing. Or new infrastructure using trustless Oracle, new type of bridges. We already see that on Starknet. There's something called Lab that is using Herodotus. We're seeing new type of Oracle with Pragma. What can you finally be or that you couldn't be built before? A lot of people are looking at on-chain gaming, or looking at the kind of abstraction, looking like the new type of UX. For instance, to give you an idea, why is the UX and the onboarding of crypto in a DEX worse than a centralized exchange? Think about it. Why does it have to be this way? It doesn't have to. And we are facing this every day. Like, why are we not enjoying the same easiness when you connect to Binance than when you connect to, let's say, GMX on another chain? Or this is the sort of like things I wish we were able to solve. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what people wants to build.
Amazing. I agree with you, and also I would like to ask to Enrique his perspective on this topic, and also to the impact that could make the hackathon Starknet ecosystem.
Yeah, so I totally agree with Louis here. I think this is are very good opportunities in this case for StarkWare to showcase its products. But I think more than that is to give the opportunity to the builders to showcase what can be done exactly with those products. I think this is very important because it also helps StarkWare to align even better the product market fit. I think everyone that builds stuff like to have a relatively close connection with the company that is issuing those tech stacks. I think that's a thing that we have been in the past. So hackathon users love to have this type of connection and proximity. I'm very excited for this one because I really love what StarkWare team is doing in terms of tech stack. But I think that with hackathons, we really open the frontiers of innovation because if we have a lot of heads thinking in a different way, we will have different results for the same tech stack. So I think, in a nutshell, this is a great opportunity to have builders, but also users of the tech that is in place to showcase what can be done, what should be done, and what could be the route of the products. That is the most important point, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, that's nice. We also I saw a tweet I think yesterday from Starknet that is one of the ecosystem with more developers right now, right, Luis, or with the more growth of developers in the last months.
Uh, yes. So what you're referring to is a developer report by H3 Capital, and so that's a very interesting question you're asking. So, Starknet has been having the fastest growth above of all ecosystem for the last 3 years overall. So, um, we finally reached a point where we are started as being on par with in dev adoption with the top 10 project for the longest time. Right now, we slowed down a bit because it's much easier to go from, let's say, 10 dev to 20 dev than going from 500 dev to 1,000 dev. So we are slowing the growth in relative number, but in absolute number, we are the fastest growing ecosystem under 4 years old of all crypto. And the cool thing about our ecosystem specifically is that it's an ecosystem that is built like that only like they're not copying from anywhere else. They can't because you can't just fork Uniswap and go back to OP or something. What you can do on something you have to believe from scratch, from first principle. And so all the like 800 dev or maybe more, I don't remember exactly the numbers of the full-time devs that we have. All those devs are basically building things that are new, just grown breaking, just completely new. And so that's very, very exciting to me. And so there is a lot of excitement of what Starknet can enable, and we should expect a lot of people to start doing a lot of interesting, a lot of new projects. And this is kind of why, like, the sort of like story that's sort of built up right now around Starknet is like just If you want to build different, that's a starting to go. That's the starting way. Build different. That's the way to go.
Amazing, amazing. I will move forward with the next question that it's about the this thing of organizing a hackathon, the challenge. What are the main ones that you face when you decide to organize this initiative?
So I mean, the biggest issue, I mean, the hardest thing in the hackathon is to find the devs and the builders and the entrepreneurs and the designers that want to try things out at this time. You know, you need to reach the new audience. You try to. It's easy to talk to people you already know. You want to reach to new people. You want to reach to the people that does not know you yet. That's why we work partner with you guys. And the whole purpose is see how we can expand the reach, expand the knowledge, expand the information for anyone to who is interested to be aware of what's going on, so they can, enjoy and benefit from this event. And so that's why I'm looking forward for this collaboration to see how our shared communication, how we can bring more people in a way that will guarantee high quality project to come out.
Great, and I think also including different tracks and also including sponsors or Starknet ecosystem projects inside the challenge with their main bounties is a way to spread the word about the hackathon and also invite more developers. What do you think about it? Do
I mean,
what is the
that,
important
so
for you?
So we don't build Starknet for ourselves. We build Starknet for the community that wants to use it. And so what's amazing right now about Starknet is that there is so many sub ecosystem already happening, which I think is quite unique in the landscape of the ecosystem, where we have genuine organic community building things from the grown up and building things that are getting people excited. So obviously the biggest one, the one that gets the most people excited right now, is Dojo and on-chain gaming. And I can expand a bit more about why on-chain gaming matters so much. And I always like to give this perspective, which is, to me, on-chain gaming is a guinea pig of what the web of tomorrow is going to look like. Meaning, having servers that can run operation trustlessly thanks to ZK in a centralized way, like you would do on a regular on Facebook or Google, whatever app you're using, and just be able to accept money in and out and be able to live forever if the company disappear. There is always this example I give for people who watch the movie Ready Player One. So Ready Player One is this movie where the whole world is living in this sort of metaverse, which is this video game made by the creator of the game. And the whole movie is like the creator dies, and um, the ownership of this world will belong to the one who solved a bunch of riddles, a bunch of games. And there is something that is not discussed in the movie. I don't even know if it's discussed in the book, but it's not discussed in the movie at least, which is how crazy is it that the faith of the whole world, the faith of all the conceivable world, which is this digital world where they live in, belongs on the faith and of a benevolent dictator. This should not be. If we want to live in a world that is not a complete dystopia, we need to live in a world where when we create digital words or digital applications, they should be able to live forever. And we have seen over time application, web app disappear from the face of the earth and taking with them all the knowledge that they were created. A very famous example is something called GeoCity, which was tried to be restored and stored by a bunch of internet archive. There has been MySpace. There has been many apps where the knowledge that was built into it got lost to the face of the world because there was no easy way to make it live forever. So one example, being able to live forever. Now the other way around is I want to create my app, I want to create this game, I want to create this social app, and I want to accept money. And right now, you have to go through to Stripe or some random provider that will take a big cut, and also might refuse your transaction because you know what? They too prude for you. You like to make good, like I don't know. I'm gonna shock people. Pornographic. You want to sell pornographic drawing? You are entitled to. By the way, that's actually a funny thing. Most comics writer also in their spare time under fake name write pornographic comics. It's a very common thing. And still, the financial system thinks that, oh, it's disgusting. But who are they to judge what people do? And so this is where the financialization of the application will come, and being able to accept money in and out trustlessly will have huge value. So summarize, on-chain gaming is a very fascinating space because it's the first type we're getting to the new type of internet. Now, we also have DeFi. We've been very often kicked out of application because all of a sudden crypto is not pure enough, not kosher enough, like one would say. And we are right now in DEX, the DEX world, still subpar to this centralized experience. Why is that? There is no reason. We have like an abstraction now. We have a new ways to enram people, a new way to scale things. We should do better, and that's what I'm looking for. And also, we want to fix infrastructures that are more reliable, more likely to survive over time. And so, this is why things like Pragma, things like Herodotus are giving you the trustless oracle, the trustless outside data that one needs to make it and provide a real world usage to the application. And so, I'm starting to see, like on Starknet at least, a bunch of very cool apps like Focus Tree, like Carbonable, trying to bridge the gap between what people can do and what people want to do. And I'm looking forward for other people and devs and projects in this hackathon to build an application and make this whole tech useful. And so to finalize on this, why we invited all those projects and all their ecosystem, because we want to help them grow their own inner community. So whatever they're building will be used by the masses and will be make them successful too.
Yeah, I was listening to you, Louis, and my perspective has been especially related to adoption. So the gaming industry has been one of the biggest like families out there because people are very, very keen to the games that they play. So it's a big group of people, but they are all connected to the same kind of hobbies and things that they like to do. I think that our ecosystem could really leverage on that specific ecosystem because it's huge. And once that people that play the games on and on every day on their lives, I think if they see an opportunity to have an even a better experience, not only on the gaming side of things, but everything that we can do with the technology, I think we will actually accelerate adoption way faster than any other ecosystem. I think it's even better than the standard financial transition that we are seeing. This is my personal opinion. I was wondering the fact that you feel so fascinated about the gaming industry starting to come up as a blockchain projects and ecosystems, if that's the same perspective that you share with me.
100%. I 100% agree with you. This is one of the next big reasons why on-chain gaming will become big. And by the way, I think by the time we won't call it on-chain gaming. On-chain gaming is like very technical. It's what we're gonna see. It's calling like autonomous word, which we're starting to see other places.
All right,
Yeah, I totally agree.
Talking about gaming and talking about the sponsors, I would like to invite Gabe from Dojo to make a comment on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm Gabe from the Cartridge team, but I'm here representing the Dojo ecosystem. For those on the call who might not be familiar, Dojo is a provable game engine that's built using Cairo that establishes a standard for building games using smart contracts. And Dojo kind of provides a number of tools that you can use to kind of build and deploy these games. So we're happy to be sponsoring the hackathon. We've been doing a number of game jams where people have been using Dojo to build games in short periods of time, 72 hours, and most recently 2 weeks over the holidays. So we're excited to see kind of what people are able to build using Dojo during the hackathon. Was there a specific question, or we're kind of just riffing on building
No,
decentralized games?
I would like you to make on the topic is for discussing about the games and also to present the fact.
Okay, got it. So I'll start with the track. I think ultimately the track is fairly simple. The goal is really just to build a game using Dojo. I would say that, to be more specific so far as the criteria for the projects that we'll assess for winning the track are really kind of building games that utilize the kind of like uniqueness of like what Dojo enables. And so I think that oftentimes when we talk about kind of Dojo, we talk about provable games. And so, I think, in the past in these game jams and kind of hackathons, we've seen teams build like a variety of different types of games. Most recently, we announced a Unity SDK that will allow people to build Unity games. And we saw a really cool one come out of the holiday game jam called Starknet. So, building like high fidelity games with like cool experiences is kind of, one avenue that we find really compelling. Another is another team won the holiday game jam, um, building a game that's kind of a duel game where people are kind of fighting with like pistols and swords. And the kind of like cool component of that game is really focused on the use of like secret information, and people kind of committing moves ahead of the actual combat taking place. So I think that so far as like on-chain games go, it's such like a vast design space. I think that the comments that Louis made kind of about like the decentralized nature of these games and kind of censorship resistance and platform risk are kind of certainly kind of like part of the thesis. But I think that there's also kind of just like on a smaller scale, cool game mechanics that can be designed like uniquely using a provable game engine. So as far as the track goes, like I said, the main criteria is just to build a game using the Dojo game engine and to really emphasize the things that are unique about Dojo. One other comment that I'll make is that one of the kind of interesting and unique capabilities of a fully on-chain game is this idea of extensibility and composability. So while the project that needs to be submitted for the hackathon needs to be built during the hackathon window, it's fair for our track to kind of extend an existing ecosystem. So for example, Realms is a really prominent ecosystem within Starknet and Dojo Gaming. If you wanted to build an extension of an existing Realms game or a new game that is kind of built on top of their kind of world contract, you can do that as long as the game is built during the hackathon. So yeah, let me pause there. I'm happy to answer any kind of additional questions about it.
That's amazing. I believe that probably there will be a lot of developers interested on this track, keeping in mind Dojo technology and also the interest for on-chain gaming. Thanks a lot for your introduction to the track. And I want to continue with Pragma. Hi, Edward. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great. Can you all hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for both TAIKAI and StarkWare team to organize this hackathon and to invite us to have a track again. So, quick word about what we do. So, we are the leading Oracle on Starknet, and what makes us the best Oracle on Starknet is that our the stack is on chain, so it's on Starknet. So, how the price feed happen to be published on Starknet is we have a different list, different set of data publishers. Those are like, for example, like Exchange or market makers, or for example, Avenue, which is the leading, one of the best aggregator on Starknet. And they all push the prices, for example, the price feed of Bitcoin or Ethereum on chain. And these price feed can be used to create new DeFi application, for example, money market. But we can go way more further, and that's what we want to see during this hackathon is new DeFi primitive. Because the beautiful thing about Starknet is like it can do way more complex and way more computational requirement application, which will obviously push the boundaries of Starknet of DeFi application, and that's what we want to see, and that's what we want to support. So on our description, you can see a few examples, and of course, we are happy to support new, innovative, and new ideas. So make sure to check and make sure to ping us on Telegram and to join our Telegram as well group.
Amazing. Thank you, Edward, for the introduction, and we invite the developers to check the TAIKAI web, the different categories, to see the descriptions, and we want you to participate on the track that you prefer. Well, before I want to invite Antoine from Argent Wallet to present their track and also talk about the project. Hi, Antoine.
Yeah, GM. Yeah, sound quality is a bit choppy on my end, so let me know if for some reason you don't hear me anymore. But yeah, so Argent is also very happy to join this hackathon. You might know Argent X as being, the first wallet on Starknet, and today still the biggest wallet. We have more than 2 million wallet downloads, which is pretty big. But actually, Argent's story began way before Argent X, and already back in 2018, we used to have a mobile wallet on Ethereum layer 1, simply because we think that the future of Web3 is mobile. Mobile wallets, enable to unlock new geographies, new demographics, new use cases, and basically simply allow to push blockchain services to new audiences that are probably less tech savvy and also less Web3 savvy. And so we now have also a mobile wallet on Starknet. It's been a few months now, simply because we think that Starknet is probably the best place to drive this vision, of bringing Web3 to a bigger audience. But at the same time, you also realize that many dApps are still not optimized for mobile users. And so in the Argent hackathon track, your challenge will be to develop a consumer product that is optimized for mobile experience. So that means being mobile responsive, being compatible with mobile usages, having seamless connection to the Argent mobile wallet. And so we will allocate a $2,000 bounty to this to that track, and also potentially a feature in the Argent mobile app. If hackers come up with a very nice product, I would be very happy to feature it and simply push it to our user base. And then probably the last thing I would like to mention is that we also encourage hackers that are hacking on other tracks. So typically, if you are building a game on Dojo or doing some DeFi stuff in the Avenue or Jedi Swap track, please actually, make your project mobile compatible from day one, and that way you will simply be automatically joining the Argent track as if you want as well. So yeah, I guess that be it on my end.
All right, thank you for your time, Antoine, and we encourage all developers to develop on mobile. that I think it's something too necessary in the crypto space. Okay, the last one, Herodotus. We have Oigi representing the project. I would like to invite you to present the track, talk about it.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. So for those who's not familiar with what Herodotus does, is we provide smart contracts with synchronous access to current and historical on-chain data across Ethereum layers, including Starknet. And the way I really like to describe it is that it basically gives smart contracts two superpowers. The first one is the ability to access history. So you are no longer constrained by 256 blocks. You can access data all the way back to Genesis. And the second superpower is the ability to read data from other chains in a completely trustless manner, relying purely on cryptography. But here the best part is that you, as an end developer, you don't need to know any of the cryptographic primitives. We abstract basically all the complexities away, dealing with circuits and stuff, and we provide you an API key. So I guess some of the use cases that maybe hackers can get inspired from, well, they're all mentioned in the documentation, but one of them, Louis mentioned as well before, those are like trustless bridges, cross-chain lending applications, wallet with an account recovery feature, for example, gaming, casinos, since you can access the randomness as well generated by the consensus layer. And yeah, I guess, well, here you're really limited to your imagination. As for the track and what we're looking for, well, it's utilization of the Herodotus API. And whether you choose to build a cross-layer interaction or utilize it to access historical data or both, it's completely up to you. I think one thing I would like to mention as well, that there is an interactive resource hub for building with Herodotus. I think the link will be provided on TAIKAI platform as well, but basically you can obtain your API key there, you can check your transaction status and detailed information about the requested proof as well. And we do have our Discord and Telegram groups available, and always happy to answer any additional questions. So yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Oiji. Thank you a lot. And thank you everyone for the sponsor that joined the space. Definitely the hackathon has a lot of opportunity for developers, not only to earn, but also to discover and try new products and new technologies from the Starknet ecosystem. I want to move forward with the next question to Louis, and it's about the expectations that you have from participants. What do you expect from the developers? And also if you want to give them some tips related to the evaluation criteria.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I had a choppy connection for a second.
Yes, of course. I want to ask to you some details about your expectations from the deliverables, from the developers, and also if you want to give them some tips related to the evaluation criteria. What do you want to see from them?
I mean, it's not very complicated. Have fun, build cool shit. And if they can be actually productized, even better. So the evaluation criteria is like originality, creativity, and likelihood of success as a company or as a project. Yeah, so this kind of so originality, creativity, effort, quality of code, and obviously likelihood to succeed as a company.
That's right. Also, Enrique, do you have some tips for developers, keeping in mind your hackathon experience?
I would say that sometimes the more crazy you go with your ideas, the best result you have, because from the organizers and jury side, they are also they might expect some kind of applications to be made, but I think the surprise element is definitely a factor to keep in mind as a builder. So that will be my tip for them.
Great, great. Well, Luis, I don't know if you have on hand the agenda of the hackathon, the different activities to make mention of them, and also to invite the developers to the onboarding week and highlight the registrations closing and so on.
So, for what I remember, there is a base camp, what we like an onboarding process class happening next week. I don't have access to the extra agenda, and also it's more Liran who organized that. And but there are like a bunch of free classes for those who don't know Cairo yet, as well as various workshop by the various sponsors to explain to you how you build things, and how you make them good. Everything is on the website, the TAIKAI website, as available in the link. So if they want more info, they can obviously DM me or DM you guys and find more, and we'll be happy to reply to them and find them the best information they need.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just
Yes.
wanted to.
Go.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
Just
go.
wanted to add on this that these onboarding sessions and pretty much the warm up to the actual hackathon. I think it's a very important initiative. So participants will have access to all of this information and workshops with StarkWare and also sponsors. And I think sometimes participants focus a lot on the hackathon itself and what can they gain from that. So that's totally normal. But I think people are now starting to realize the value of having this kind of interactions with all the teams before the hackathon, also because it really prepares them better to the challenge. On top of this, for everyone that might feel that this hackathon is not really their fit, this hackathon is for everyone. And these onboarding sessions and workshops are really to help everyone to feel comfortable when it comes to the challenge itself.
Yeah, we have pinned on the space the tweet where you can find the hackathon link, and just head over the TAIKAI site to the hackathon page, and you can find all of the links, the information, and the timelines to join the workshops, the base camps that Louis did mention, and also the jam sessions from every sponsor that will talk about the tracks and introduce you to their products. I have one more last question to you, Enrique, as to give some insights and also recommendations to the Starknet team. What you could do after the hackathon? Like in our experience, we see you organize a hackathon, you have some challenge to overcome during the hackathon, and then after the hackathon, sometimes projects miss like the next actions to take and how can take the benefits that happened on the hackathon. What do you have to say here?
Yeah, actually, I think this is the critical point when usually the connection breaks between all the organizers and all the projects that were done on a hackathon. I think we should address this topic more often and more in a responsible way, because we are also allowing people to keep building on top of our ecosystem. So I think it's a very important step from a hackathon. So following the hackathon, I think it's essential to capitalize on the innovations and projects that emerge from the hackathon. And for the StarkWare team and all the sponsors, this means that you should closely engage with the projects that have shown potential, and perhaps that also explore new ways to work on top of your tech. Supporting these projects behind the hackathon, I think it's crucial, and you have several ways to do it. You can do it through mentorship, partnerships, grants, acceleration programs, or even a broad integration of these projects inside the ecosystem. I think this is very important and also provides even more value to all the participants. And additionally, I think it's also important to gather feedback from all of these builders and learn from their hackathon experience and from the products that they use throughout the hackathon, also to lead you on a path to future improvements of the products. So I think this is very important for any hackathon that we do, and all parties should be most interested also after the hackathon. So it's a crucial moment. And I think this will help to build a sustainable ecosystem afterwards that continuously benefits all parties involved. And I think it will exponentiate even more the connection from these builders to your ecosystem and projects. On top of this, as we see this as a big flaw on the ecosystem, at least on a good number of hackathons that we have been involved, we are also launching or working on something called TAIKAI Garden that really addresses this topic. So TAIKAI Garden, as an overview, is a post-hackathon platform designed to grow and improve project development through community-driven innovation alongside the ecosystem that was built. So basically, we have a set of initiatives inside the platform that really allows from these projects to come from a hackathon and then connect even further with the ecosystem, with mentors, and we will give them a test bed for them to pretty much evolve their project through certain steps that we have on the way. So TAIKAI is not yet live. We hope that this could also help everyone involved to make the after hackathon a success as well. So that is something that we have been working so far, but nonetheless, all the tips that I gave before, I think that those are very relevant for everyone.
Enrique, if I may add.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you. Just want to mention that there is a collaboration between Argent and the Starknet Foundation, which is called Hito Studio, which is basically a startup studio that can help some projects kickstart and very, fastly get to the next stages of being a project to becoming a company. So after the hackathon, depending on how advanced the project is, they can also simply apply to Hito Studio. And if they don't know how to do that, they can slip into my DMs.
Cool. That's exactly what I was referring. This is very important because sometimes we have a lot of great quality developers developing very cool apps, but then they don't have the business side of things, the marketing side of things, even the design side of things. Sometimes it's difficult. We are now seeing a lot of these type of characteristics inside the hackathon. So we have been having more and more builders that are not only developers but are attached to other activities. But I think it's important to have programs like yours to really have a test bed for all these projects to grow. So congrats on that as well, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you guys for your insights. I think your comments are really valuable, not only for this hackathon, but also for everyone looking to organize this kind of initiatives and also a successful hackathon. Okay, I think we are reaching 45 minutes of talk. I think we can start to wrap up. I want to ask Luis and Enrique for a last comment or any final message to the listeners and to the people that will listen this during the next days, and also an invitation to developers to join the hackathon. You can start, Luis.
Sure. The last message is first. One thing is do videos on your demo. Do demo with video. It helps a lot the church. And otherwise, just as I said, have fun, build, create something new. Don't try to do something what you think is already cool because it already exists. If it already exists, it's annoying, it's boring. They probably do it better than you because they're a company. Do cool stuff on your own, on your ideas, and you'll be successful. And do videos.
Yeah, I agree with Luis, and I also think that's important to be to build something out of the box. So that's my first tip. The other tip is whether are you an experienced builder or not, but you want to be involved in the hackathons, you should apply to this one because, as I told you, you have all sorts of resources to be acquainted with everything that you need to know to participate. I think more than building and the pressure of building cool stuff, it's also the networking opportunities and also to get to know people inside an ecosystem that is growing. So that's also a very positive thing that we see that hackers usually grab from the hackathons, and also to invite everyone for the first Starknet Basecamp session that will be on the 19th of January. So feel free to join and tune in. And if you have questions, you will be helped on this session. So I invite everyone, and also thank you for everyone that was a part of these spaces, and the special thanks to Louis and all the sponsors involved. And yeah, that's it from my side.
All right, I would like to say the same. Thank you, Luis, for showing this space. Also, thank you, Antoine, Oigi, Gabe from Dojo, Edward. I believe that this hackathon will be a great success, and we will work for that. So thank you to everyone who attend. If you want to find more information of the hackathon, you can check the pinned tweet. Also, you can contact us to see you can check the Starknet Twitter, the StarkWare Twitter. And yeah, let's go, let's build, let's hack. As Louis said, be creative and just do it. Have an amazing rest of the week and see you in the next episode, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.